I started painting the house last year, but I didn't get very far. With good reason though. The holidays came and I turned all my attention to decorating for Christmas. Now that it's the new year, I'm anxious to get back to painting, but I don't know where to begin. So what I'm thinking is I'll go through the house and show you what I've done so far, and maybe that will help me decide. Okay, maybe I should start by explaining this. Right now we have 3 different colors of paint on the walls throughout the house. This one, for example, is kind of a pinky beige color. Jim and I did agree on initially that we wanted some shade of gray. That was as far as we agreed on in the beginning, because he wanted a darker shade, I wanted a lighter shade. He wanted some of the bluer shades, I didn't. So every time he found a color that he really loved, I hated it. And every time I found a color I really loved, yeah, he hated it. What's interesting is these 5 swatches we've painted on 3 other walls of the house, facing different directions, different angles, different lighting. I was really surprised. Everyone always told me you need to do that because they're going to look different depending on where you put them. Boy, were they right. So let me show you what we've got in the kitchen. So these are the same 5 paint swatches that I put here in the kitchen. One of the reasons we ruled out the bluer shades is because of this backsplash tile. Now there are a lot of things in the kitchen that ultimately I want to do away with or replace. The kitchen counters are one, and we also have dreams of painting these cabinets. But I digress. This backsplash tile I really like, but when we put this bluer shade of gray paint next to it, we both realized that wasn't going to work if we were going to keep the tiles. So even though back out here in the living room we've got the blue colored sofa and chairs out here, the bluer shades worked out here, but they didn't work in the kitchen. So we had to come up with a compromise. And I'll show you now that we've picked out our colors. There are a few walls in the house, a couple upstairs, a couple downstairs. It looks kind of different. I wonder if you'll be able to guess which one we went with. This is the master bedroom, and this wall behind me happens to be the very first wall I painted. It's not special, nothing spectacular, it's just the first one I painted. What's funny is that's pretty much the only wall in the master bedroom I painted. Take a look here. Yeah, see that green wall behind my bed? Yeah, I never got around to painting that. You can see I did some of the edging, never painted it, and obviously it does not go with the purple comforter or the cat. Okay, so now let's turn toward the master bathroom. This little alcove behind me here, yep, I painted that, got that part done, got a little bit over the archway, and that's as far as I got. Master bathroom. The walls themselves are all painted. Yeah, I hear my cat outside. So I'll show you, I've done all of the painting around here, up to the ceiling. You can see shower, bathtub, all around the window. Very plain, very ordinary, very dated. I know this whole bathroom is still very, very dated looking, but I wanted to give you an idea of what this looks like just going all the way around. Notice what I haven't finished. I never hung the medicine cabinet back up. So why not, you ask? Yeah, this turned out to be a much bigger project than I wanted it to be. When I took off the medicine cabinet, there were lots of gaps, gaping holes all the way around. Can I show you here? There were gaping holes all the way around that needed to be spackled and filled. I thought I was doing a great job of spackling and filling and sanding and painting, and then when I put the medicine cabinet back up, there were gaping holes where it didn't lie flush against the wall. The holidays came and I just put it on hold, so yeah, I've been living with all of my toiletries in a box for about 2 months. There's one more thing I want to show you in here, and it has to do with the mirror. So behind me, I don't know if I'm getting a good shot of it right. Oh, here we go, up at the top of the mirror here. There are 4 clips, and I have not painted the fine painting under and around the clips. Let me show you here. So I'm going to zoom in here so you can see there's still the white wall behind the clip. Yeah, that hasn't been painted yet. As a matter of fact, because it's such a great big mirror, which is dated. I know nobody has great big mirrors anymore. I would much rather, down the line, replace this with two smaller ones, since we have the two sinks in the master bathroom. I'd love to change out the counter, paint the cabinet. See, here we go. We're going to tilt it up this way. Paint the cabinet, same way I'm going to paint the others, and replace the mirror and the lighting above it. For now, I just want to paint around those clips, and I bought some frame. It's a really pretty stick-on frame that I hope works. I'll record that so we can see how it looks when I do it. Ideally, I'm hoping it brings it up to date just a little more, but later on, eventually, yeah, I would love to replace the whole vanity and just update the look of the bathroom, but one thing at a time. So another area I did finish painting is the hallway upstairs. It's nothing fancy and I don't have a whole lot on the walls, but it did feel so good to get this done. It just felt a lot more finished and polished. Notice the stairs have some of that really dark brown. Maybe I haven't shown you the dark brown yet. Here's an example right here. That's one of the colors I'm really anxious to get rid of. Even on the other side here, yeah, the stairs just look dark to me with this. Actually, I'm going to step back here and show you. I'm standing up at the top of the stairs looking at the wall around here. That's a high ceiling. Jim and I are a little bit at odds on this one because I'm convinced I can get most of this painted with a ladder. Maybe not all of it. Yeah, Jim doesn't want me on that ladder. We'll see. The kitchen here might end up being one of the last rooms we do. There's so much we want to do out here. I'll show you an inspiration photo of what we want to do in the kitchen as well. Oh my gosh, there's so much I want to do out here. I want to not only paint the walls, we want to paint the kitchen cabinets, the island, we want to replace the counters. Yeah, this room is going to look very different when we're all done. So am I going to be happy if I just go through and paint the walls and then stop and move on to a different room? Probably not. That's why I'm thinking I may wait till the very end to tackle this room. This is the room that might actually be the most challenging, and that's not because of the wall being so dark. I'll show you another wall that I've already painted over that was this dark, and it came out beautifully. I'm really happy with that. The challenge in here is the height of these walls. I'm going to pan up now so you can see just how tall this ceiling or this wall is. It goes all the way up to the top floor. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to paint up there. Okay, I know I can't paint all the way up to the top of the ceiling in this room, but I can paint around the windows and the door, and over on this wall. Oh, I cannot wait to get this wall painted. This dark color I've never liked since the day we moved in, and we have this dark color here, along with, there's a loft up here. Here's an angle of the loft so you can see that too. Yeah, all of that. I don't think I'm going to be able to paint that at all myself. It's just too high, too risky. I will eventually hire somebody to finish that. But back down here, I think I can at least paint as far as I can reach in here, and that way it may not cost quite as much to hire a painter to finish. So here's another angle of the dining room. Yes, this is my little studio lighting setup, but this half wall right here separates the dining room from the living room, and this wall was super dark, just like that awful chocolate brown that I can't stand, and it is on the other side of the wall as well. So I think I got all of the footage done that I need. Oh, but wait, there's the patio door. Let me take a picture of the patio door for you, because even though it might seem like it's no big deal, it's just a patio door, who cares? There's actually a story behind that patio door. So the story behind the patio door. A couple of years ago, we noticed some leaking around two of the windows in the house. The patio door was one of them, and this great big window that I keep complaining about behind me was the other one. I wasn't sure what the root cause of the leak was, so I called over a couple of different experts, and I decided to start with replacing some of the windows. The windows that got replaced are this one, the other one over here, and the only reason we replaced this one, it wasn't a top priority, but in a recent storm prior to this, one of the roof shingles had fallen off, and shattered half of the window down here, so had to replace it anyway. Then there were the two great big windows in the front room and the two big windows upstairs, and I'm noticing, whoa, look at that next to, woo, okay, not gonna do that anymore. And then there was one of the leaky windows was the patio door, so that one had to be replaced as well. We got them all replaced, and then around the patio door, the wall was never fully finished. I knew that I was going to have to spackle and paint over there. I held off because I wanted to make sure that the leak had stopped. Well, there was good news and bad news. The good news is the leak out here stopped. The bad news is the patio door still leaked. I need to stop doing that because it looks creepy on the camera. So the next thing we tried was painting. Several experts had told us that the house needed painting. There were cracks in the stucco and the water was leaking into the cracks, and that's how it was leaking down the wall. So we did paint the house. Really happy we did, by the way. It needed to be done. The house was 18 years old. We live in Arizona. It's hot, and it hadn't ever been painted. It was due to be painted, don't get me wrong. But the next time it rained, it still leaked. So the next thing I tried was the patio roof. There is a patio right outside the patio door. Of course there is. That's why I called it the patio door. And and I called a few roofers out. They agreed that it needed to be replaced. It was also 18 years old, had endured the hot Arizona sun for a long time. It was peeling up, needed to be replaced. So we got that replaced. When the original estimator came out, I had talked to him about the problem with the leaky patio door, and he was confident that they would be able to take care of that because we concluded it must be leaking, or the water must be seeping into the wall somewhere where the beams from the roof were attached to the walls of the house. So on the day that the roof was replaced, I talked to the guys who were out here doing the work and pointed out the leaky problem and asked them to take special note and make sure that that was sealed really, really well. And they told me, oh, there's no problem with where the roof is attached to the house. That's not going to fix the leaky problem. The leaking problem, they said, was coming from a window upstairs. The window right above the patio happens to be the pane window. It doesn't open, but it's the one over the bathtub in the master bathroom. It never occurred to me that that might be the leaky problem. I'd only assumed that it must come through a window that opens and closes, but I thought, okay, fine, we're gonna have to go back to the window drawing board again. Well, guess what? The next time it rained, no leaks. We've gone through an entire year now, monsoon seasons and all. As a matter of fact, it's gloomy and raining today, no leaks. So finally, just before Christmas, I was able to spackle and repaint, and finally that little alcove where the patio door is, after a couple of years, is painted and finished. Hi, Pete!